What up, though? OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny, at Retired from the Streets TV. And I know y'all wondering where the hell I'm at right now. I'm actually in my storage shed, right? This is where I keep a lot of the stuff that I take and I do my retail arbitrage, if you will, so to speak. So I'll take and buy stuff in bulk and sell it, and I make a lot of money doing that. Marketplace and Facebook Marketplace and a lot of outlets that allow you to sell things where you don't have to pay them. Excellent money. My point in being in the shed and doing this episode is I wanted to give you guys the feel of a closed-in environment, and actually this particular space is about the same size as a cell in prison when you go to solitary confinement. Now, it goes by different names: solitary confinement, administrative segregation, disciplinary segregation, special housing unit. The problem with that is, right, you're already in prison, and we get the fact that when individuals whose misconduct in prison is so erroneous, they have to be placed somewhere, especially if they're a violent inmate. Right? You have to send them somewhere, and usually the only place for them to go is segregation. The problem is that segregation has been proven to have long-lasting psychological and other effects on inmates, right, when they go home. As a matter of fact, I have some facts for you guys I want to run down real quick, right? And it lets you know, this is prisonpolicy.org. And they were saying that solitary confinement increases the risk of premature death after release. Among people who died after release from prison, those exposed to solitary confinement were more likely to die from suicide, homicide, or opioid overdose. Now, they give you the actual breakdown right there. I'm moving around a lot today, so I don't have the time to actually include it into the video link. But if you pause it and check it out, or you go to prison policy initiative, but it's prisonpolicy.org. It's a prison policy initiative, and they say the research is clear: solitary confinement causes long-lasting harm. And this was the International Symposium on Solitary Confinement, and this was December the 8th, 2020. So we're not talking about 10, 15 years ago, some old ass research. We're talking about recent research that is proving the fact that people who are incarcerated and then subject to solitary confinement, especially for months and years. I know individuals who've done 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in solitary confinement. And when I met them, they had only been on the prison yard after all of that time for months. And then they wonder why individuals come home and have problems reintegrating into society and feeling functional and feeling like they're a normal part of the everyday activities, like getting a job. You know how hard it is to get a job and socialize with people when you've been in a situation where you're anti-socialized? You're in a solitary situation where you're 22 to 23 and sometimes 24 hours a day lockdown. My first time in solitary confinement, or what we call the hole, my first time in the hole, I did 12 days. So it was a real short stay. The second time I went to the hole, they wanted to give me 3 months because I had an assault on an inmate and some other stuff, because I was trying to rob a dude. I ran up in the cell and I got locked in the cell, and, we got into it, and I shoved the police, jumped over the first gallery, hanging from the first gallery. It was wild, and this was 2000, I think 8. It was 2008 when I did that. So, but when I went to the hole, they were like, "Bro, you're gonna be in this boy for a minute." But that's another one. I went to the hole before that in 2000. They were trying to give me about 3 or 4 months in the hole for disobeying a direct order and interfering with the administration of rules. 2 different major misconducts, because I ran up in the cell on a police officer who was shaking me down and found a bunch of contraband. That's a whole nother story. But I ran up in the cell. Don't move, bro. You know what I mean? If you get up, I ain't gonna promise you. I'm not promising you nothing how I'm gonna react. I might take it offensively and assault him. We might have to rumble on this boy. But you got a lot of stuff on this floor that's gonna get me way more time if I go back to court for some of this stuff. I'm talking about contraband. I'll talk about that later. Right now, I want to focus on solitary confinement. If you got loved ones that are in prison and they're in solitary confinement, do your best to stay in contact with those people. Do your best to understand that when they come home from prison and they don't feel like sleeping on a nice ass soft bed, but instead they sleep on the floor. They don't like loud noises, kids running around, dogs barking, right? An alarm on a car. A lot of things trigger individuals that are real repetitively noisy because the sensory deprivation in solitary confinement is real. Not to mention if they got the light on all fucking day and night. I've been in the hole one time and I had an officer, right? Now, this is a little off, this is a crazy story, but I was in the hole and I was in there for the 2000 incident I told you about, for the interference with administration of rules and the disobeying direct order, right? When I go to the hole, like I say in prison, you sexually frustrated, right? So the only thing guys can do is get themselves off. I'm in the midst of trying to get myself together, not to be vulgar, to put my business out there, but I'm telling you this for a reason. But I had a camera on me. I didn't know if the camera worked or not. I'm pretty sure it did, but I'm like, shit, they already know what I'm in here for. Why are they still watching me? So I'm trying to get me together. It's probably 1 a.m. I can't sleep. You understand what I'm saying? But something tells me the higher thought process is kicked in and said, go look at the door. I go, well, now you got a glass that's about this long, probably about maybe 2.5, 3 feet long, and about maybe 5 to 6 inches wide, if that you got to kind of peek through to see everything. So I go and I look. Now, mind you, the guard tower or the control center for the hole is about maybe 20 or so feet from my cell. But when I went to the door to look, the officer watching the monitors that the cameras fed to the control center where they at, he slid back in his chair, which let me know what? That this lane was watching me. Not only was he watching me, I done set my naked ass on the toilet and got my lube out, about to get me together, think about my baby at home, my female, right? And this lane watching me on some pervert type shit. I got pissed and I really snapped in that moment. I took so much wet tissue and I threw it up and I slathered the damn camera with wet tissue until he couldn't see nothing no more. Then he cut my light on. Get the damn tissue off the camera. I'm like, man, fuck you, man. You hear me? Fuck you, you faggot. I thought, no disrespect to gay people, none, but I called him every derogatory name I could think of. Right? You pervert, lame ass broad. You weren't here trying to watch me get myself off. And then I didn't give a damn. I'm like, call your supervisor. I was already in the hole for months. I had been in there probably, I don't even remember, but I had months to go in the hole. Because they wanted to make an example out of me because I was in level 1 when this happened, lower level, on my way home about 2 years. And they figured make an example out of him so the dudes that come behind him won't do the same stuff that he did. So they tried to punish me in that bad boy, right? They had me on restricted diet. They was bringing my trays late. My food was cold. You understand what I'm saying? They kept my light on sometimes. And I'm like, bro, can y'all cut my light off? Hold on. We doing shift change. Little petty ass shit, right? They play a real psychological fuckery with you when you're in the hole. Because they want to break you. Mind you, I'm really trying to get myself together because Ramadan coming up, and I'm trying to make sure when Ramadan come, I'm on my deen. I ain't lusting. I ain't masturbating. I'm not doing nothing, right? And this dude, tested my temperature. I snapped. I had him call the supervisor. I just kept doing push-ups all night because it's late. Like I said, I couldn't sleep, so I'm just 3, 4 in the morning. I had to get so many push-ups. Because it's cold, too. It was cold in that bad boy, freezing. I burnt myself out doing push-ups, man. And when I got out the hole, finally, I didn't want to be around a lot of dudes on the yard. I didn't want to hear a lot of stuff. Everything was aggravating the hell out of me. Every little conversation that wasn't about none that I didn't feel like talking about was pissing me off. And it got me in a mood to where I said, damn, that little time I did in the hole, them little few months changed me. You know what I'm saying? I had to check in with the brothers on the spiritual level and get back into my Quran and my Bible real heavy in order to really find some solace and some sanity behind being in solitary confinement, right? Now, mind you, that wasn't my last time. I had been to the hole, I don't even remember, I about 3 or 4 times altogether. And that was over the course of off and on, back and forth for 10 years, going in and out the penal system, 3 different prison beds. Of course, I didn't seen a bunch of shit in there, right? My thing was, now that I'm looking back and I'm doing research, because I want to give you guys the proper information. I didn't want to just tell you like, hey, I've been to the hole, that shit was fucked up. No, I'm giving you facts and statistics and stuff you can go and look and research on your own, that's letting you know that it's so harmful to subject people to that type of sensory deprivation and that type of mental and emotional anguish and trauma, and then expect them to come back out into society and be functional, working, and active citizens again. It's weird and it's crazy. And it lets me know, and it lets you know, that the penal system, right? The Department of Corruption, the prison industrial complex, the plantation, modern day slave plantation, is based upon punishment more than it is correction. And I know that for a fact because I was subject to it. I got letters. I got kites in there. Dozens of them that I would love to share with y'all. I got so much paperwork that I could just show you proof positive. If y'all ever want to see it, just let me know in the comment section, right? Proof positive of how they play mind games with you and how they spin you when they don't want to address your topic or your issue. You got to go through a grievance process. And then even with the grievance process, you got layers. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and they constantly telling you, no, your issue's not valid, right? Considering the circumstances, or what they say, I forget how they word it, but like the weight of the evidence lean more towards believing the officer than you, even in situations where the officer was wrong and you were right. There was times where I was dead to the right and they still took the side of the correction officer because they're gonna do that. But then when you get in that hole, that's when they really turn up on you. That's when they really start, because you got to think a lot of the officers that watched the hole was the ones that was fucking up anyway. Fraternizing with other COs, possibly fucking inmates. You understand what I'm saying? They send somebody worse and most screwed up in the head correction officers to the hole to watch you people, or to watch us. And then they want you to come back to the yard and not only be model prisoners, but to take that model behavior and a system that's surrounded and filled with corruption and disarray, and they want you to come home and be all right. That's fucked up. You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes when I still have them dreams that I'm in the hole and the door is welded shut and the water is filling up in that bad boy, that stuff still bother me sometimes, to where I wake up cold sweating, heart racing. You ever have a dream that's so real that you feel physically the stress of what's going on in the dream? You wake up, your body is so tense, everything is tight and hurt, tears running down your face and shit, and you like, man, you look around. I look around some nights and cry when I wake up, just thinking like, damn, I'm so blessed. Although I sent myself to prison, right? I still wake up and be like, man, look at God. I'm out of that state of mind where I used to be so warped about the way I thought about things, and how I justified doing bullshit and violent acts and crimes. I got away from that mentality, and I thank God for it. And that's why I share this stuff with y'all, man. That's why the name of this channel is Retired from the Streets. And like I've told y'all before, the streets is an acronym. The stress that robs energy and emotion from the soul or the spirit, however you want to claim it. But that is real to me. I wake up some nights and I'm thankful, because I look around. I got a big ass TV. I got my office in the corner. I got my recording studio. I got heat press machines and crickets, and I got everything that I need to be a full functional company now. And I put all that together myself on the back of being disciplined enough to not go back to the streets, to not go back to the garbage. And I'm telling y'all look around in here, man. I got stuff hanging from the rafters in here, right? I got like literally stuff brand new in boxes and stuff in here that I sell. And I make a lot of money doing it. And I'm trying to tell dudes, y'all don't have to go back to that way of living. Because if you've never been there, and you don't want to go there, and you especially don't want to get in there with that tough ass mentality, that rebel mentality, that I ain't listening to you motherfuckers, I ain't doing shit y'all say. Go in there with that you want to. God forbid you ever have to do a bid. Go in there with that you want to. Not only will they beat your ass, Not only will they beat your ass and drag you, you understand what I'm saying? They'll lock your ass in that cell. And if you don't got no outside support system, which unfortunately a lot of dudes that get there don't. Illiterate, right? Can't read, can't write, no real education, no support system, nobody that's telling them, hey, I love you. When you come home, we got you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them dudes get in there and they come in there with that mentality thinking they gonna run some shit. This ain't the streets, homeboy. You're gonna get in there and they're gonna put you in that hole and forget about you. Ain't nobody writing letters, calling up there about you. You'll be stuck. You will be stuck unless you know the law and the legals behind the legalities behind the policies and saying, okay, this is unconstitutional here, there. And then even when you send the kite out from the hole, it's no guarantee your mail is leaving. It's no guarantee. They might take your shit and rip it up as soon as you send it out. Okay, all right, thank you. And throw your shit away. So ain't no guarantee that even the messages that you're trying to get to the world is getting to you, or the ones that the world trying to send you, you know, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that you can tell if that communication is being thorough and uninterrupted. I'm saying all this stuff from the heart because I don't want to see y'all. I don't know a lot of you individuals personally. I got some people that's following me that I know personally, and I appreciate all of the ones who subscribe and following. And please continue to do so. Please continue to share, to like, to comment, to let's open up this discussion and these conversations, right? But I promise you, these things that they send you through when you get in that system is nothing nice. You understand what I'm saying? I done dropped off 4 coffee makers this week. 3, what them damn things, the damn space heaters. I'm talking about tool sets. You name it. I got them in here. Hey, you want a nail gun? I got one for you. You need a tool set? I got one for you. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what I do now. I'm talking about, you need, what is these things right here? You need some of these? I got them too. I don't want to see y'all having to go back that way when I can show y'all how to take a little bit of money and stretch it and get yourself and your family out of a poverty and a scarcity mindset. I mean, I love y'all. Enjoy y'all weekend, y'all Friday. Y'all be safe. As always, don't forget to like, to comment, to subscribe, to share, to hit that notification bell. It's your boy OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny, retired from the streets TV. I'm out, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace and love.